Hello, good evening and good PM, brothers and sisters in Nigeria and from neighboring countries as well as some places outside the continent. Let me just say this way: good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone watching my content, depending on where you are watching from at the moment. Brothers and sisters, when I say Nigeria is the key market for the future, that is absolutely correct, and I'm not the only one saying it. After watching this video, you will understand why. First off, why is Nigeria the target of many African celebrities, including celebrities that had conquered other African nations, as well as celebrities that are yet to even cross their nation? They want to enter Nigerian market because you know why? Hitting it big in Nigeria. Let me not just say hitting it big. Just getting some percentage, just 2% of Nigeria is a dream come true because it is a game changer. This is also applicable to billionaires. Brothers and sisters, talking about world billionaires are as well visiting Nigeria currently for the same purpose. The questions are why? Brothers and sisters, I come in peace.
Walking down the streets, feeling the breeze. In the sunshine state where dreams come with ease. Palm trees swaying with the ocean in view. This is the place where I always feel brand new. Sipping on a smoothie, chilling by the shore. Got my shades on, feeling like I can't be ignored. Sun-kissed skin, feeling so alive in the soft rap game. I strive to thrive. Waves crashing on the sand. Ride the vibe. Soft rap flowing.
Nigeria is a key market for the future. You see, Bill Gates, Jack Ma, Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg, these four business leaders visit Nigeria very regularly. These four guys, four examples that I gave you, these guys that cannot waste time. They have global demand, global business, global activity. If they go somewhere, it's because they know its importance. And if you look at the numbers, you see Nigeria has 200 million inhabitants. And it's the biggest African country by population. The GDP of Nigeria is $380 billion. We have done projects to support literally hundreds of multinational companies in Nigeria.
Brothers and sisters, you heard him right. This is a professional. Let us start with the demograph. First, the population. Nigeria as at 2024 is more than 230 million. Yes, brothers and sisters, because even the census is incomplete. Okay, many areas weren't counted. Now, in a country of more than that, I'm talking about a country, in Africa we have 54 countries. And when you put up the populations of these countries, you will realize that Nigerians' population is more than 32 countries in Africa put together. Brothers and sisters, you heard me well. Which means it is safe to say that Nigeria can become a continent of its own. In such a country, anything, no matter how tiny, is huge if patronized by the people. And I do tell people that one of the major factors to be considered before investment is the demand and then the necessitations to produce and supply. This leads us to the group or age group within the population. It is estimated that 60% of Nigerians are youths between 18 through 25 years. So brothers and sisters, let us calculate this. I would love us to break it down so that everybody will understand what I'm talking about. So let's say the estimated lowest number of Nigeria is 230 million. Now the number of the active Nigerians, I would say the active market targets, is actually the X factor for investors. So this X factor include the number of the youths between 18 through 25 years, between 26 through 49, between 50 through 80, 85, 90, and infants as well as the adolescents. So it simply means that 60% of Nigerian youths, it simply means that 60% of Nigerians are between 18 through 25 years. So it simply means that 138 million Nigerians are youths between 18 through 25 years. Also, let us know that the total youths between 18 through 49 years are 80%. It means between 26 through 49 years are 20%. Let's count them. So the remaining 20% are infants, adolescents, and adults. Okay, so these active members, we are talking about between 50 through the 80-89. Good. Now 5% for infants, 10% for adolescents. So brothers and sisters, it is safe to say that in Nigeria, plus or minus error, 138 million are between 18 through 25. 14 million are between 26 through 49 years. 23 million are adolescents. 11.5 million are children. 11.5 million are aged. Amongst the aged, there is high demand in certain areas to compensate for less demand in technology. Amongst the 11.5 million active aged persons, I would say 7 million are within the urban/semi-urban settlements, and so they are exposed. Though I won't say all educated, no. I'm saying exposed. Okay, let me say, out of 11.5 million children, about 6 million have parents who can afford at least their basic needs. I did not say all their needs. I'm saying their basic needs. So the market for their need, like baby wears, diapers, clothing, toys, foodstuffs, accessories, will be on a very high demand to compensate for the loss in tech demands. However, some children are placed in a supposed digitally infused environment, so the market will also be high. Now let us talk about the 23 million adolescents. About 15 million are exposed to urban world. It is safe to say that. And of course, the market will be high for their specific needs. Now, 2 million out of the 23 million may, despite living in the rural settlements, are still not novice to the modernization of the world and still added to the increased demand. Now, for the 40 million middle-aged adults, about 30 million out of the 40 million are conversant with urban settlements. And of course, they add to the increased demand of technology, gadgets, accessories, foodstuff, decoration, decor things, etc. in large quantity. And also, the demands are evenly distributed because they do shop or buy things both for their personal use or for their families, their loved ones, for these adolescents, for the children, for their aged parents, and for themselves or their loved ones. Now let us talk about the 138 million youths that are between 18 through 25 years. Brothers and sisters, no matter how poor they can be or they are, about 130 million of them are exposed to modern life. They may not be living the modern life all through, but they are exposed to seeing modern life and must try to meet their needs. And this will add a huge pressure to the increased demands of goods and services. Now, 4 million out of this 138 million may likely, no matter what, try to meet minimum of 1/3 of their basic needs. Brothers and sisters, it simply means that in Nigeria, 187 million people can afford a basic necessity. Basic. At least you will find something that they can afford. I'm talking about 187 million. And that is what we call the main market target. So it is safe to say that if you enter a country of 230 million inhabitants and you have 187 million market targets, the sky will be your starting point because this is huge. Hope you know that 50%, according to researchers, that 50% of Nigerians live in cities, which is very, very high compared to other countries. Now let us talk about the GDP. As at now, the GDP of Nigeria is more than $362.81 billion, though lesser than in 2022, or higher than in 2020 when it was at $248 billion. So the purchasing power in Nigeria is very high. With $10, you can't buy something meaningful in America. But with £10, you can buy something meaningful in Nigeria. The economic growth of Nigeria spans from its diversification into agriculture, into technology, into manufacturing, in addition to the oil and gas sector, as well as the purchasing power of the country. That is why government is trying so hard to balance it by increasing the minimum wage. And I'm also advising private sectors to also increase their wage to balance the purchasing power, because that is very important. Most of you that stay in Nigeria will attest to what I'm talking about. In Nigeria, we are shouting that things are very high, but brothers and sisters, when you travel to other neighboring countries, you will know we are just doing prayer more. Because of what? Because of the purchasing power in Nigeria. Also, in Nigeria, there are very high middle class citizens. in Nigeria, which is mostly not noticed by foreigners who are here to visit the country because of the movie or other projections that always portray or make it look as if in Nigeria it is either you are super rich or poor. No, there are many middle class citizens and mostly working class citizens, okay, which is a good factor to be considered by investors, as there are increased demands of goods and services as need be due to thorough exposure of these middle class citizens. Okay, so these are mostly civil servants, public servants, private employees, businessmen, traders, etc.
People really don't know the hidden gem of Africa. Nigeria's total import close to $70 billion, which is about 36% of total imports of West Africa. Of this, $1.5 billion is spent on cars alone. Just imagine, out of 2 cars shipped to West Africa, one of them is destined to Nigeria. For car exporters around the world, Nigeria isn't just an ordinary market, it is the market.
Another factor to be considered is the market opportunities. The market opportunities in Nigeria is very high due to the infrastructural development in Nigeria, because Nigeria is a developing nation. Okay, so there are demands for products in the construction companies, demand in transportation sector, demand in the energy sector. There is high demand in technology sector of Nigeria because of the rapid technological growth. There is demand for agricultural equipment and resources. Let us talk about location of Nigeria. When you look at the map of Nigeria, you will realize that Nigeria is the trigger in the continent of Africa, and Nigeria is the gateway to West Africa. It is a central zone for American, Asian and European markets. Okay, there are so many investment opportunities in Nigeria, especially in the tech startups, in education, in agriculture, agro-processing, development, in finance, in infrastructure, in real estate market, aviation, in the energy sector. Come on, listen guys, businessmen who understood the deal are rushing to Nigeria. They are all aware and they are taking notice. Governments from other countries through their ambassadors are always initiating partnership with Nigeria. Let us take China for example. It is all about Nigeria. Nigeria is the sole market for China. Indians have their trade partnership with Nigeria for a very long time. It's been in existence for so many years. Let me give you another example. When Nigeria banned Twitter, what happened? The internet shook. Twitter went into panic mode. Why? Because of the active users of Nigerians on Twitter. And when Nigeria went into negotiation or decided to either be paid on Facebook or not, Meta knew the implication of saying no to Nigeria. Why? Because of the Nigerian market. It is the X factor, very important to every investor. I'm talking about a country whose population is more than 32 African countries put together.
There is no good reason for why Nigeria is not one of the world's leading economies. Out of 618 tech hubs in Africa, Nigeria has 85 of them, and Lagos is the Silicon Valley of Africa with over 40 tech hubs there alone. Lagos is the only African city to be ranked in the global top 100 startup ecosystems. They have a huge population of 234 million people with a healthy birth rate of 33 per 1,000 families. Fun fact, they have over 500 indigenous languages there. Most importantly, when it comes to the population, 60% of Nigerians are under the age of 25, so they have a very young and vibrant populace. They are the largest oil producer in Africa, and they are the 6th largest exporter on the planet. If they can actually build enough infrastructure, I would not be surprised if they became the 5th or even the 4th. They have a booming agricultural industry, and I know that they do have a rice and grain shortage, but that is being remedied. It will take time, but there is a solution. There is a movement called Feed the Future, and they are making good progress in solving this crisis. But a monumental change is happening to this country, and it's being spearheaded by this man, Dr. Bozan Tajani, which I had the pleasure of speaking with at a UN summit earlier last month. He is the Foreign Minister of Communications and Digital Economy in Nigeria. He is a brilliant and very understanding guy. He was very forgiving because as soon as he finished giving his speech, I almost rushed him when he got off stage and I was like, "Hey, can I interview you for a few minutes?" He was a little taken aback, but he agreed to it. I asked him what was the one thing Nigeria needs to ramp up the progress that it's already making. And he responded with fiber optic connection and access to AI. He informed me that Nigeria now has about 35,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable, but it needs drastically more, at least 125,000. And guess what? 90,000 kilometers is going to be deployed soon. Earlier this year, they secured $2 billion to connect 774 local government offices together through fiber optics. I've attached the earlier post I've made about Nigeria in the captions, and I addressed that something is holding it back. And I think Dr. Bozum Tijani has nailed it. It was connectivity. I understand the government of Nigeria has a lot on its plate right now, but how much easier will it be to manage its problems with a better connected system? I am the Geo Hussar, and I do think the next renaissance is going to happen in Africa. It's going to probably be led by Nigeria.
Brothers and sisters, you heard them. I am not the one that said it. If I had said so, you might have said that, oh, I am probably biased, okay? These are foreigners, not even from African continent. So yes, believe, okay? Let's support our nation by standing against and fighting corruption and contributing the best way we can. See guys, our youths are blessed. Like our nation is blessed. Our people are blessed.
Walking down the streets, feeling the breeze in the sunshine state where dreams come with ease. Palm trees swaying with the ocean in view. This is the place where I always feel brand new. Sipping on a smoothie, chilling by the shore. Got my shades on, feeling like I can't be ignored. Sun-kissed skin, feeling so alive in the soft rap game. I strive to thrive. Waves crashing on the sand as I ride the vibe. Soft rap flowing, let the rhythm collide. I'm the king of this groove with the catchy hook. Got the ladies moving and the fellas shook. Just down the boulevard with the top down low. Music blasting loud, feeling the flow. Neon lights, embrace, lost in